Welcome back to Take the Leap Management, the podcast where we explore bold ideas, innovations, and the evolving landscape of project management. We're nearing the end of our special series on AI in portfolio management, and today's episode takes a different turn. We're not just talking about the benefits of AI, we're tackling the challenges and ethical concerns that come with its adoption. AI is transforming industries, streamlining processes, and enhancing decision-making. But it's not without its complexities. Issues like biases in AI models, data security risks, and transparency concerns are real and must be addressed if we want AI to be a force for good. Then there's the human factor. How do we handle workforce concerns about AI-driven automation? How do we ensure that AI is not seen as a threat, but as a tool that empowers teams? And most importantly, how do we build trust in AI, ensuring that project teams and organizations use it responsibly and ethically? That's what we're diving into today. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns in AI adoption: bias. AI at its core is trained on data. And if that data contains biases, whether they're societal, historical, or organizational, AI models can reinforce and even amplify those biases. This is a critical issue because AI is increasingly being used to make high-stakes decisions in hiring, resource allocation, and even risk assessment in projects. Imagine an AI tool being used to evaluate job applicants for a new project team. If the historical hiring data it was trained on reflects unconscious biases, such as favoring candidates from a specific background or excluding non-traditional career paths, the AI could perpetuate those biases without anyone realizing it. The same issue arises in financial decision-making. AI-driven risk assessment tools have been found to unintentionally disadvantage certain demographics because of biased historical data. So how do we address this? The first step is understanding that AI is not inherently neutral. It reflects the data it learns from. So organizations must be intentional about ensuring data diversity. That means regularly auditing AI models, testing them for bias, and most importantly, maintaining human oversight. AI should never be making critical decisions without human validation. Transparency is another key challenge in AI adoption. Many AI models function as black boxes, meaning they provide recommendations or outputs, without explaining how they arrived at those conclusions. This lack of explainability can make it difficult for teams to trust AI's decisions, particularly in high-risk environments like finance, healthcare, or strategic project planning. Take, for example, an AI system that predicts project delays. If it simply tells a project manager that a deadline is at risk but doesn't provide the reasoning behind that prediction, the team may be hesitant to take action. Was the prediction based on past project trends, on current team performance, on external market factors? Without transparency, AI recommendations are just another data point, not an actionable insight. Building trust in AI requires explainability. Organizations must prioritize AI systems that offer clear reasoning for their decisions. Some companies are now using white box AI models, but ones that allow users to see and understand how decisions are made. Others are incorporating AI explainability tools that break down complex predictions into simple, human-readable explanations. The more transparent AI becomes, the more likely teams are to adopt and trust it. Beyond bias and transparency, another pressing concern is data security. AI relies on massive amounts of data, and in project management, that can include everything from sensitive financial forecasts to employee performance metrics. This raises serious questions about how data is stored, who has access to it, and how organizations can prevent unauthorized use. We've all seen headlines about major data breaches, and the reality is that AI-driven systems can be vulnerable if not properly managed. One of the key risks is data leakage, where sensitive information inadvertently becomes accessible to unauthorized parties. This is especially concerning in industries where proprietary data is a competitive advantage. For example, an AI system used for predictive project analytics might inadvertently expose internal project strategies if the data isn't properly protected. Organizations must take a proactive approach to AI security, implementing robust encryption, strict access controls, and regular security audits. It's not just about protecting data from external threats, it's about ensuring that AI systems are designed with privacy in mind from the start. Many companies are now adopting AI governance frameworks, setting clearer policies on what data can be used, who has access, and how AI-driven insights are shared. But let's move beyond the technical challenges and talk about something that's often overlooked, the human response to AI. One of the biggest concerns in AI adoption is how it impacts the workforce. AI-driven automation is streamlining processes, but it's also raising fears about job displacement. Employees worry that AI will replace them, leading to uncertainty, resistance, and even pushback against AI initiatives. So how do we address this? First, we need to shift the narrative. AI is not here to replace people. It's here to enhance human capabilities. But that message alone isn't enough. Organizations need to actively demonstrate how AI can be used to support, not eliminate, jobs. That means upskilling employees, training them on AI-powered tools, and showing them how AI can make their work more meaningful by eliminating repetitive tasks. Let's take an example from the construction industry. Traditionally, project managers have spent countless hours manually updating schedules and tracking resource allocation. AI-powered scheduling tools now automate much of this process, predicting delays, suggesting optimizations, and streamlining workflows. Instead of eliminating project managers, AI allows them to focus on higher value tasks like strategic planning, risk mitigation, and stakeholder engagement. When employees see AI as a tool that removes tedious work and empowers them to be more effective, they're more likely to embrace it. Another key factor in workforce adoption is ensuring that employees have a voice in AI implementation. Too often, AI tools are introduced without input from the people who will actually use them. This creates resistance. Organizations should take a collaborative approach involving employees in AI trials, gathering feedback and refining AI systems based on real user experiences. When employees feel like they have a stake in AI adoption, they're far more likely to trust and engage with the technology. That brings us to our final challenge, building trust in AI within project teams. Trust isn't just about transparency and security. It's about creating an AI culture where people feel confident using AI-driven insights. A big part of this is ensuring that AI systems are seen as partners, not dictators. For AI adoption to succeed, teams need to know that AI recommendations are suggestions, not mandates. AI should be a tool that enhances decision-making, not one that overrides human judgment. When organizations emphasize this balance, where AI supports but doesn't control decision-making, trust naturally follows. One way to foster trust is through small wins. Instead of rolling out AI across an entire organization overnight, companies can start with pilot projects. By implementing AI in smaller, low-risk areas, such as automating routine reporting or improving resource forecasting, Teams can see firsthand how AI improves their workflow without disrupting their autonomy. As confidence grows, AI adoption can scale organically. As we wrap up, let's take a step back. AI presents incredible opportunities, but it also comes with challenges that we must navigate carefully. Biases in AI models can reinforce inequalities if not addressed. Transparency is critical for trust. Data security must be prioritized. Workforce concerns need to be acknowledged and actively managed. And above all, organizations must create a culture where AI is seen as a valuable tool, not a threat. So here's my challenge to you. If your organization is adopting AI, how are you handling these ethical concerns? Are you auditing AI models for bias? Are you making AI-driven decisions transparent? Are you engaging employees in the process and showing them how AI can support their work? These questions aren't just theoretical. They're essential for ensuring that AI is implemented in a way that is fair, responsible, and beneficial for all. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Take the Leap Management. If you found today's discussion insightful, I encourage you to subscribe and share it with your colleagues. In our final episode of this series, we'll be discussing the future of AI in project portfolio management, where it's headed, what's next, and how organizations can prepare for the changes ahead. Until then, keep taking the leap and remember, the future of management is in your hands.